You don't realize how many people you love in Florida until a hurricane comes along. And right now, I just want to scoop up all my family and friends in Florida and have them over for a giant sleepover at my house. Spirit 105.3, I'm Erica, and we are so privileged to have the company of producer Sherri from the Brant Hansen Show that you hear every night on Spirit 105.3. Maybe you don't know, they actually do the show from Florida. Producer Sherri, welcome to your station. How are things going, my friend?
It's interesting. Yesterday was a little tougher day. My mother was flying home from our home of Pittsburgh, where I grew up. I went to pick her up. I just assumed naively that if they let the flight leave Pittsburgh, they knew whatever was coming, and that we'll land safely in Florida. I'm supposed to pick her up at 10 to 8. And I don't know if you've ever seen this before, where the arrival time continues to be delayed. Like, I've seen the departure time, but never the arrival time. So I'm looking, and it goes from 7:50 to 8:06. Then it goes from 8:06 to 8:10. Meanwhile, I'm sitting in the cell phone wait lot. I know why they're not landing, because I'm in the cell phone wait lot. Everything is just blowing everywhere. Rain,
Sherri.
tornadoes. And I'm like, where is my mother? My mother is in the sky somewhere, and I don't know where. You can't call her, right? So 5 to 9, I get a text from her, and she says, hey, in a holding pattern, can't land, hope you get this. And that was like, I could just feel the tension drain from me. Like, okay, well, at least she's safe, she's okay. You know, my mother's very feisty, but she's still 76, right? So,
yes.
And then driving home was really, in that weather, I mean, you got to get home. What are you going to do?
Right.
It's challenging, but again, I come from the north, Erica, right? Like, so that's, it's still not snow.
You're absolutely right. It's so true. So let me ask you this. In those moments where you're feeling afraid, whether you're waiting for mom to land or to get home in the crazy weather, how are you leaning on God? Where does he meet you in those moments?
You know what? I mean this with all sincerity. I hope it doesn't sound childish or simplistic, but I've never known him to fail.
Yes.
So I don't have a frame of reference for it. I don't have a frame of reference of what if he doesn't come through now? That's never happened. And so what his come through looks like is different sometimes than what I think it should be. But I don't know him to fail. So you can feel the anxiety. I think sometimes we think that true victory means I didn't get anxious in that moment. Well, he wouldn't tell us to cast our cares if we weren't going to have them.
Wow.
Right? So I got it. Yeah, sure. I'm anxious right now. My elderly mother's in the air, and I don't know where. So, yeah, I'm anxious. But it's never to a point where I'm like, he's going to fail me. Because, again, I don't have a frame of reference for it.
I mean, Sherri, I'm going to keep that in my back pocket. That is beautiful. Okay, now to what's super important. I've heard about hurricane snacks. That's kind of a popular thing to make sure that you've got stuff in the house to eat because, stress, I mean, right?
Hey, sis, I don't need a hurricane to have snacks in my house. And that's what I want everybody to know. I'm going to have snacks regardless. That I am prepared for. I may not have shutters on my house. I may not have tied everything down. I didn't do any of the practical stuff. But I promise you, Skinny Pop is in this house and will continue to be.
Listen, so much love to you and Miss Bev. Stay safe. We are so thankful for you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Appreciate the prayers.